Hi guys, Geek264 here, and today I'm going to be talking about Captain Marvel. Now, I am traveling for work and have been for a little while. That's why I have not gotten a video up lately. I'll be home very soon, and I've got some really cool videos in the works, including a look back at some 90s cartoons. I'm really excited about that, but the cover for Captain Marvel, the Entertainment Weekly cover for Captain Marvel, was released yesterday. I wanted to do something on this yesterday, but again, I've been working, so I've been pretty busy. But I do want to throw something together real quick and put it out there, my thoughts on Captain Marvel, because this might be Marvel's first flop, and I'm going to spell out a couple different reasons for why the hype is not at the level that it should be following Infinity War. So let's go ahead and break this down. You will not see my face, so you're welcome. We're going to go with just graphics, okay? Just graphics. You don't want to see me in my hotel room. It's just depressing. All right, let's get this thing off. All right, so real quick before I get into this, I do want to talk a little bit about Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, or Miss Marvel. She's gone by lots of names over the years, about kind of her history real quick. So a lot of people don't realize this, but Miss Marvel has been around since the 70s, and her powers were actually taken away by Rogue from the X-Men, who zapped all of her powers away. She actually suffered from a lot of mental problems after that. And if you're wondering why Rogue had all the flight and strength and all that stuff that she had in like the 90s cartoon and all of that, she actually got those powers by zapping all of Carol Danvers' powers away from her. She did survive, but all of her powers were soaked up in Rogue, and Rogue had those powers for a long time in the comics. And so that's why she had those powers in the 90s X-Men. So after Carol Danvers kind of went through her recovery phase, she did regain her powers. I don't really recall why. I would do some research about this before I did the video, but I'm just going to talk to what I actually know and not pretend to do anything else. I do own lots of Miss Marvel's comics. In the 2000s, Miss Marvel did have a reboot series. I got that. It was pretty good. And she was also thrown into the Avengers when the Avengers had Ares and whatever. I don't remember what that whole lineup was, but Ares was our main person in that lineup. And that was a really cool run on the Avengers. I thought Miss Marvel was an awesome character then. So that's kind of a little bit of a backstory. So Marvel has recently been taken over by some strange individuals, and they have kind of turned her into something that she never was. The artists continually draw her like she's a man, and the writers kind of write her like she's a man. She's not even the same character is what it amounts to, and it's really kind of sad because she is Marvel's premier, probably female superhero. Maybe I would say Black Widow, as far as because of the movies, is bigger now. But I would say that Miss Marvel, before she became Captain Marvel, was the definitive Marvel female superhero, and I did like her. Then she became Captain Marvel. Anyway, so that's kind of the history of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. So Brie Larson was announced that she was going to be playing Captain Marvel, and the first thing I thought of was the fact that they're actually calling it Captain Marvel and not Miss Marvel. Not really a big deal. Captain Marvel was actually a guy. There was a guy who had the name. It was Marvel, and he actually died of cancer in the comics. It was a really big thing back then to have, a main superhero at the time die of something like cancer. Like, it wasn't some supervillain, it was cancer that killed him. So with Brie Larson taking over, so I liked her in 21 Jump Street, and she was also in Scott Pilgrim. Now, here's the thing, though, with her. She has kind of the same thing that Kristen Stewart has from those Twilight movies and all the other stuff she's in. She only has one face. It's like she can't emote at all. There's no facial emotions that come out in any of the scenes she's really in. It's very monotone. I don't particularly like that. I think that you need, as an actor, if you can't emote, then you are not really that good of an actor. I don't particularly think that she was the best choice for this. Emily Blunt was originally supposed to play Black Widow, if I recall, in the Avengers movies. I don't remember what happened, but regardless, Scarlett Johansson picked up that mantle, and she has been great as Black Widow. Emily Blunt, however, she is just awesome. She was in Edge of Tomorrow. I loved her in that, and I was like, man, she needs to be in a Marvel film, and I thought that Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel would be a great role for her. Her as Carol Danvers would be great. She is a great actress, and she can kick some ass. But yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Brie Larson. I don't think she was really a good fit for that. And she has released some thoughts and some tweets out there, and I'm not really a fan of hers. I've actually grown to like her less, even beyond just the fact I don't think she emotes very well. We'll just take a look at a couple things. Let me pull this up real quick. I don't have Twitter. I think it's a social wasteland. I think it's just a societal wasteland where, I can't say enough about how much I dislike Twitter. But this stuff always comes up with other people sharing it on other stuff that I'm on, and ask me what I think about it. So here's something that came across my desk, so to speak. So she was referring to a movie called A Wrinkle in Time. This was a movie that was on my anticipated list. I was actually really excited for it, but the movie was, I don't even want to talk about the movie. It was not a good movie. Okay, well, anyway, in reference to that, this is what she said, quote, "I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what it meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women of color, to teens that are biracial." End quote. Whatever, you can say stuff like this if you want. As an individual, it's fine. The problem is that if you're a head of a company, or if you're somebody who works in film, if you're about to be the face of a huge Marvel property and a huge face for Disney, same thing for directors and writers, but specifically for actors and actresses, because they are the face of the product. So you're representing not just your own thoughts, you are also representing the companies when you say stuff like this. But mainly the whole thing brings me back to the cover that was released yesterday. What does it say here? The future is female. This is like the force is female that Kathleen Kennedy put out there wearing that shirt. Look, this is identity politics. This whole thing is really stupid. So Wonder Woman is the best of DC's films, and it's not because it pushed these identity politics, as I've been saying, but because it was just a really good movie with an interesting character. Gal Gadot played the role very well. Wonder Woman kicked ass, and it was awesome. I could identify with that character being thrust into a new environment. It's like the normal fish out of water story. And she didn't have to be a man for me to identify with her as a character or as a person. The idea that your gender somehow can exclude people from identifying with you is just ridiculous. It doesn't matter what your race is, what your gender is, what your sexual orientation is. Normal people don't care about that stuff. It doesn't have anything to do with telling a good story or giving us compelling characters, and we can identify with you regardless of those things. So I was hoping Captain Marvel would be Marvel's answer to Wonder Woman, but it doesn't seem that way. The movie's not out yet, so I'm not going to wait to pass judgment until I see it, and I will see it. I'm not calling for a boycott or anything else. I'm just telling you that I personally don't care about this as much as I did before, and it's because of how they're pushing this identity politics and their marketing. They are intent on pushing the identity politics. Looks like this is going the way of the Marvel Comics Captain Marvel, which is turning Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, into a weird ideologue of some type. It's a big train wreck, and most of the audience, as far as the Marvel Comics section, the comic side is concerned, are jumping ship because they're done. They're done. I'm already done. I don't buy pretty much any Marvel comic at all. I've moved more into some of the independent options, and I do still get some DC. But this is what I don't want to see in the Marvel Studios movies. I love the Marvel Studios movies because they are the more honest to the origins of these characters than the comics themselves are these days. So maybe Captain Marvel will be good, but Brie Larson's statements and the marketing direction, those are the things that have decreased my interest in this immensely. They want to alienate so much their audience, over half their audience, by catering to a very subset of people who think that your race, gender, and sexual orientation are defining factors in society. It blows my mind. So according to identity politics, as a white dude, I can't have an opinion on Black Panther that anybody should care about or that matters, and I can't identify with any of the characters in Black Panther because none of them are white. So could Captain Marvel be Marvel Studios' first failure? I don't really think that that's necessarily true. I think that if they continue on the marketing path that they're on and Brie Larson continues to say divisive things, it is going to limit your audience to some degree. Some people will like see that stuff and be completely turned off by it and just not want to see the movie. I'm not going, no matter what comes out or what she says, I'm still going to see this movie. Not just because I want to do a YouTube video on it, but because I appreciate Marvel movies. And I don't want people's individual politics to interfere with the actual movie. And I don't really think that the politics that they're pushing forward in the marketing is going to seep into the movie based on Marvel Studios' track record. However, like I said, it does make me less excited for it, and I should be really excited because it's going to be the first movie following Infinity War, which is the biggest Marvel film of all time, and I'm not as excited about it as I should be. So I don't want this entire video to be some kind of rage quit. There are some cool promotional images that have come out, and I just wanted to look at them real quick and share them with you. This is from Entertainment Weekly. So there's a scene with everybody in their Captain Marvel gear. There's Ronan the Accuser. There's this character, I can't remember what his name was, if he even had a name in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, you know, the pictures in the suit, I really like the costume. I think the costume's really good. I just wish that Brie Larson could have some emotions. Seriously, it's just all stoic and bland, and it's just not as interesting as it should be. See, all of her pictures, her face looks exactly the same. But the main thing I was really excited about was, since this takes place in the 90s, we get a younger Nick Fury, and Sam Jackson just doesn't age. He doesn't. I think he's immortal. I think he drinks the blood of his enemies. So Jude Law is in this, and I'm pretty sure he plays Marvel. Again, I probably should have done a little bit more research on this. Usually I'm more up to date on this, but as I said, I'm traveling for work, so I don't really have the amount of time that I normally have to work on this. Jude Law is amazing. I love him in Gattaca. He is a really good actor. So maybe he'll have all the emotions, and Brie Larson will just kind of be there. So there's a picture with the Skrulls. So the Skrulls are really, really cool. I really hope they go with the Secret Invasion storyline following the Infinity War, and the Secret Invasion storyline of comics, which was one of the last good, really solid Marvel big events, in my opinion. But the Skrulls are really cool. They can change shape, and in Secret Invasion they blend in and they start taking the places of some of the superheroes, and it's kind of a big thing, and I think that'd be a really cool story to have in the Marvel film. So it's really cool to see how they look in Captain Marvel. So there you go. That's my thoughts on Captain Marvel, and I'm glad we got to end on a happy note. It's not all doom and gloom. If this stuff really turns you off that much and you don't want to see it, that's fine. If you actually like the way it's being marketed and you want to go see it, that's fine too. I'm just telling you what my thoughts are. I'm irritated by it. I'm still going to go see it anyway. I would like to see what some of the other people's thoughts on this might be. And as far as if you think maybe Captain Marvel might be a flop for Marvel, we'll have to wait and see. But, as I said, I'll be back soon. I'll be working on some new videos. And as always, if you like this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm D264, and I'll always tell you the truth.